Hey guys, my cat's on my lap. Let's see how long she stays. I've got the tarot cards. Before I get into that, just gonna give you an update on how I'm doing. Um, Not really doing too well. Um, the election and the fallout that's happening with that, it's like not on par with where I was when the COVID thing started. Um, but for me, I get so anxious. Um, I get so anxious at the world. And so I was meditating just before this. Um, I can't really get her in the video, sorry, unless she pokes her head up. Um, so I did like a 20-minute meditation, and I used to regularly meditate, but um, I got out of it. And wow, like it's only when I kind of sit still do I notice the level of anxiety that I'm holding in. Um, and I was thinking I was going to talk about fear and how I'm dealing better with fear. I think that's more on a spiritual level. Um, so I think on a very 3D physical level though, I'm still very much affected by it badly. Um, for the last couple weeks at least, you could argue the entire month, I've had these physical issues of um I've always had these stomach problems for like the last 5.5 years. I've had these like perpetual stomach problems. Um I don't want to go, it's been so much, but let's suffice to say I've had 3 endoscopies, 2 surgeries, and I have an implant for my acid reflux issues, and I have a endoscopy scheduled due to this month, but I feel like I'm falling into the same trap where my anxieties are causing and it's also a hypervigilance is a word I didn't really come to know until like about a year or two ago, year and a half ago, and that's exactly my problem is that I have like a very anxious thing that happens, and then it's like the residual anxiety, like it latches on to all these things. So I think the election really set me into a bad level of anxiety, and I didn't treat it. I actually was just eating horrible and drinking and well, I didn't drink that much, let's be real. And I didn't really go off the rails too much, but I was doing a lot of distracting things. And I knew I just wanted to do it temporarily, but then my stomach issues started up, and I think technically I really think I'm out of the woods with an actual physical stomach issue, but I think the anxiety is latching on to it. And my anxiety has created so many fucked up health issues, and the amount of times that I've been to doctor's offices, it's very bad. And it's like half the time it's nothing, half the time it's something. So it's something that plagues my life, but I'm trying to go into a higher dimensional 4D. If I have my own ideas of what like 4D is, and 4D would be looking at this holistically more so, and not just looking at it from a physical standpoint, like you go to the doctor, take your meds, blah blah blah, that there are these spiritual components that we have to pull in. And some people would say I'm going through ascension symptoms, which is like this blanket thing. And some people just I mean, in a way it is. I do think if you're feeling a physical issue going on, there's fear and negative energy in your body, and it's coming out through that. I don't subscribe anymore to the idea that um the chakras are like a perfect like rainbow uh color coded, and these are your chakras, because if that's what they're telling you, then it's not the truth. I think that it is, there's chakras, but I don't think it's all like nicely tied up like with a bow of like the root chakra is red, it's the sacral chakra is orange, and the solar plexus is yellow, and if you have stomach issues, it's the issue with the solar plexus, and that means that you have an issue with power, and because that's where your power comes from, so you feel disempowered, which may be very true. Okay, I will give you that, because yeah, especially this year, I feel disempowered between COVID and the election, and I have to do this radical thing now when I get into this state of paralysis from, I don't know, fear or whatever. I just turn it up and I said, well, fine, give me the fucking vaccine then. I will take it to spite my soul because, and I know that sounds, it's just a way of me being like, to get through and just be like, this is, and I was just thinking right after my meditation, I'm like, wow, this is way too much. This is way too much for me. Obviously, I don't think that I'm meant to feel this perpetual anxiety. I'm hoping someday, I'll be 34 in February. I hope that someday it will be manageable, and not in the way that I've been doing, that I've just been secluding myself more and more from society because I can't manage it. I and then when I say I can't, I flip it and I say I don't want to manage it, and then I go, well, what are those feelings coming from there? So that's what I'm processing, and I don't want to bog down the whole thing. But this is to me what a 4D being is like. A 3D being is what I used to be. It was stuff the fear down, do what you're told, do everything. Everything has to be logical, only what you can see, feel, and touch. See, feel, and touch, whatever. Hear, smell, senses, five senses. Don't incorporate other senses, your psychic senses. Don't look at your emotions. Don't value your emotions. Emotions are bad. So this is who I used to be. And 4D is like, okay, looking at it from the spiritual side of it, pulling in, um, anchoring in, leaving room to anchor in a higher dimensional 4D, 5D self. People that have been listening to New Age kind of get what I'm talking about. Um, okay, I don't want to bog this down because it could be, I could ramble on. I'm gonna do a quick tarot. Again, this is, I feel like this is why I have to do tarot. I did tarot way too much the last month. And I said that in my video one time about not living and dying by the tarot. And I fell into the trap this past month. And I feel like every time you touch the cards, you are taking your, well, you could probably meditate on it and clear it before you do it, but a lot of times if you're picking it up and you want to know the future, you want to know what's going on, that's a control energy, and control is fear. Simply put, I think I know there's a lot more to it. It doesn't have to be that way, but for me, that is always the battle of wanting to know what's happening or what's going to happen, and la la la. Is there's a fear. I wanted to say something too, is that because the reason why I'm radically like flipping the script and say, okay, fine, give me the fucking vaccine, give me a fucking microchip. I can't do, I really can't. I'm just, my emotions are just, they get so bad. I'm paralyzed by fear, so why even bother with fear? And it just doesn't work. Like I get to the same conclusion every time. And I find it hard to believe that most people protesting, most, not all, but most, I find it hard to believe they're doing that all from a love, a true love standpoint. I feel like they are doing it from fear, and it won't work. Maybe they can hold fear more than me. I just can't. My body really reacts. And in the last hour between the meditation and talking right now, I feel way better. I feel pretty much normal now. It's just when I get bogged into that anxiety. So, um and I just think that like if I'm meant to protest, then I have to do it from the love spectrum, and it has to be a thorough, through my whole body, holistic feeling in a sense of knowing what I'm doing is something, and so to me, I'm hoping that if I go from the love spectrum, we won't even have the fight. You don't need that fight energy or that control energy that I find actually is very toxic. And that's why protection is another thing. It's protection if you're doing anything, like if you're into Wicca and protection. I don't know. I've dabbled in that stuff, but um protection to me is just inviting fear because you got to protect from something. So I'm going astray in my conversation. Anyway, let me just do some tarot. I did clear the deck. Let's do a tiny shuffle. I cleared the deck, the moonlight, and a big granny shuffle. And I'll just do one little shuffle right now, just because it's on camera and I know how these things can go. All right, let me turn the camera down. Let me move my phone in case any text messages come in. All right, there she is. She was sleeping, weren't you? I think. Wasn't really paying attention either. Okay, let me cut the deck. I have this urge to ask, what is the man Donald J. Trump of the current president's energy right now? Didn't I get this? I got this recently for something, and I forgot what I had asked. I gotta think about this one. This is the Eight of Pentacles. If my cat sees a light on the wall, like a reflection, she's gonna flip out. Eight of Pentacles, you know how I work. So upright is apprenticeship, repetitive tasks, mastery, and skill development. So upright is the card of apprenticeship mastery. When this card appears in a tarot reading, you are working hard to improve skills, become a master. You may have recently changed your work, education, circumstances. I'm just gonna skim through here. If there's anything, you get the point, basically. Yeah, that's basically what you get. What is what's his name? Joe Biden, the supposed president-elect's energy currently right now. The Two of Cups. The nice, what is, I forgot what the spiral snaky thing is called. That's used in Illuminati-ish kind of circles. Two of Cups. Because actually, I don't remember having this card. I probably had it once before in one of my readings. So, Two of Cups. Am I even showing this on camera? Okay, yeah. It didn't have my camera up. Unified love and partnership and mutual attraction. The flow of love from within. Two of Cups is the flow of love between two people. With this card, you are creating deep connections, partnerships based on shared values. While these relationships are still in early stages, they have the potential to grow and develop into something deeply fulfilling and rewarding in the long term. You have mutual respect for and appreciation for one another. And together you reach higher planes of consciousness and understanding. When the Two of Cups appears, you may enter new partnership, perhaps with a lover, friend, or a business partner. You are both focused on creating relationship that is mutually beneficial. You see eye to eye, appreciate what each other is bringing. Business partnership, you are both on the same wavelength, share similar vision for venture you are creating together. You may not have the same skills, but you create a beautiful synergy. Um, what is the energy for the position of President of the United States in the coming months? The Knight of Cups. Let's see. Definitely have had this before. It's something to do with something. Okay, upright is created. Wow, I cannot created creativity. There we go. Creativity, romance, charm, imagination, and beauty. Um, Again, some of these cards, like when I ask specific things, you really just have to make your own interpretations, just kind of get the general gist of it. I mean, this one's saying knights is a humanitarianism, altruism, I mean, romance, compassion, and beauty. Coming to making decisions, it's ruled by emotions and heart. The card arrives in tarot, you are making decisions based on how you feel about a situation rather than what you think. I almost think this is like it's being figured out. They don't know who they're going to select. It's still open. The plans. I have my own theories. Personally, I would do another video for that. So if you're good at like interpreting cards, you can do whatever cards. I think I'm going to end it there before it gets too long. So thank you for watching. Appreciate you listening to my ramble, and I'll see you soon. Bye.